Got it!
Director Cosmos. Why were you so surprised when Detective Arm found you, and again when she fired? Isn't that a bit unnatural?
Sadly, even great men such as myself have ordinary human feelings. Our bodies are bound by the forces of gravity and emotions. Even a great man such as myself experiences surprise on occasions.
Yes, I'm sure you do. My real point is not the fact you were surprised, but rather what you were surprised by.
Pardon me?
First you were surprised when Detective Arm found you in the lounge. And just after that, you were of course again surprised when she shot at you. But considering what you were surprised about, a strange phenomenon occurs here. Director Cosmos, what is strange about your surprised reaction is the fact you were more surprised when Arm came, right? Sure, you were surprised when Detective Arm shot at you, but the surprise you felt when she found you in the lounge was much greater. The fact you were more surprised by simply being found than being shot at suggested to me you were conflicted about whatever it was you were doing there.
The enemy has acquired a new weapon. Commence Operation Hide Under Your Desk.
Please tell me I finally sunk his battleship. Boss, I'm getting less Discord now. That must mean he really is hiding something about that launch pad door. And whatever he's hiding most likely has something to do with the killer's escape. I wonder what it could be. If he was doing something suspicious around that door, maybe we can spot some change between before he came to the room and after. Detective Fulbright gave us a photo taken after the crime. Let's run a comparison. Let's see. This footage of the door before Director Cosmos arrived. And this is how the door looked after the director entered the lounge. Hey, look at that. There is a change. Something's definitely different. Director Cosmos.
What is it? What are you two been up to over there?
Find the answer to what you were doing when Detective Arm found you, that's what. And the answer lies clearly within this footage. All we have to do is compare the photo that was taken during the investigation.
Don't be ridiculous. If you really have an answer, you would have pointed it out already.
He's asking for it. This is what changed directly after the incident.
Take that!
The answer is this knob.
That's...
Your Honour, please take a look at this footage.
Let's see.
Take a look at the knob next to the launch pad door. As you can see, it's horizontal.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
However, when we investigated the scene of the crime yesterday, the knob was vertical.
And what does that mean?
It means sometime between before the director arrived and after, someone turned this knob.
Yeah.
After the scene was discovered, you were the only one who could have turned the knob. Come on now, Director Cosmos, let's hear what you have to say. What were you trying to do by turning that knob by the door?
Fine, I admit it. You're right, I did turn the knob. The knob is a safety lock meant to keep the launch pad in place. I was afraid there'd be more explosions. I wanted to move the launch pad away.
You wanted to do what? Didn't Poncho tell us something about how they prepare for launch? She said that once the launch pad's fully assembled, it's moved to the launch site. But the safety lock in the boarding lounge has to be disengaged first. I guess that clears up what the knob is for. Oh, so if the killer escaped into the Launchpad 1 corridor, maybe they were transported along with the Launchpad to the launch site? I don't think so. The Launchpad 1 corridor was filled with smoke. I don't think they could have escaped through the corridor. So where did the killer escape to? I guess there are still some things we have to uncover. Director Cosmos, I request you tell us about moving the launch pad in more detail.
Fine, but listen carefully, for I'm about to give history-making testimony. I had no choice but to disengage the safety lock. I feared that maybe or explosions. I had to cut the launch pad loose. Surely the only escape the killer had was from launch pad 1. But that area was a sea of smoke. Confound it, where on earth could he have gone?
Is the anomaly the happiness here, or the anger here?
Got it!
Nope, okay. I had no choice but to disengage the safety lock. You make it sound like you were reluctant to do so, and yet when you did it, you felt some joy as if you were pleased with yourself.
How do you do it? How do you know everything as if you were there?
Pretty impressive, isn't it? This is the power of analytical psychology. So care to explain why you felt joy when you disengaged the safety lock? When I think back on the facts we discovered up to this point, I have to believe you were trying to fulfill some hidden agenda.
Yeah, how do you know about that too?
Because I'm more or less a pro at guessing.
But you have no proof I had hidden agenda.
You just confessed to it, though.
Even if I did, I would never ever tell you, so there.
I know they say people regress as they grow older, but you, sir, take the cake.
And how could you doubt a man with such great integrity, intensity, intelligence, and integrity?
Nice reference to Kurt Angle there.
Silence!
You, a man of integrity, don't make me laugh. Prosecutor Blackwell, what came over him all of a sudden? You've spouted nothing but falsity since you stepped onto the stand. You're not the kind of man that will be glorified in the annals of history. Not for greatness, anyway. Unless you consider greatest barefaced liar an honor.
Liar!
His words bite harder than his blade. You moved Launchpad 1 after the explosions? My, how naive you are. You fail to realise how even the facts themselves have betrayed you. You know, just a thought, but modern English can be your friend. And here's a thought for you. Immediately following the bombing, Launchpad 1 was on the boarding lounge 1 side. The police confirmed this at the scene. What?
Liar!
So that means the director didn't move the launch pad? Curse my judgment for calling history's greatest liar to the witness stand. Let us leave him to indulge in his lies and war games to his heart's content.
Liar!
But it doesn't make sense. You can't deny someone turned the knob. And once the safety lock was released, I'm sure the pad must have went somewhere. If we chase down the truth of this issue, we might just find where the killer escaped to.
Ah!
You're sure it must have went somewhere? We just might find out. Your arguments are nothing but conjecture, bluffing, and wishful thinking. Stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is. Or are you not man enough to, boy?
Ah!
Aha! Talk about hitting below the belt. Young'uns these days. I don't understand it. I'm sure Director Cosmos must have moved the launch pad. The knob was definitely turned after he came to the lounge. The launch pad is right where it's supposed to be. Ah! Wait a minute. Maybe I have it all backwards. What if the director turned the knob not to move the launch pad away, but to bring it back to where it was supposed to be? What are you blathering about? What if the launch pad was at the launch site before the incident, and then after the incident, Director Cosmos moved it back to its usual spot? All he had to do was turn the knob to call the launch pad back, and it would be right where the police found it. Ah! You made him sound like Mr. Starbuck. Was what I said really that off base? It pains me to have to explain how wrong your own logic is to you. However, our great liar turned the knob only after he discovered the crime scene. Indeed, the pad existed beyond the lounge where our Astro Wanderers made their escape. A fact that's been recorded for posterity on filmless film. Right. So to reiterate, stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it is, boy. Ah! Get a grip, Mr. Wright, and focus. We know the launch pad must have been moved, but our deductions and the actual facts of the case are in direct contradiction to each other. Well, maybe the two astronauts never boarded the rocket. The footage could be fake, taken with body doubles after the incident or something. On second thought, that's too far-fetched even for me. Never actually boarded the rocket? Hey, wait a minute. Maybe, just maybe. Huh? Prosecutor Blackquill, what if I told you that the two astronauts never set foot inside the launch pad area, but instead went into another place? And what if when the director moved the launch pad 1 back, it was not from the launch site, but from another place? What would you say then? Cut the existential ball or I'll cut you.
Mr. Wright, will you explain yourself at once?
I know I'm right. It was all the other way around from the beginning. Very well, Your Honor, let me explain. Director Cosmos reading room in the Launchpad 1 was... you wanted to switch it with some other place.
I'm sorry, but did you say switch it? What can he possibly have switched the launch pad with?
Well, you'd be surprised, Your Honour. All it takes is a little thinking outside the box and the answer becomes clear as day. This is what was switched with launch pad 1.
Take that!
Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum. In the past, the Space Museum used to be Launchpad 2. It has all the same features as Launchpad 1 and can even be moved to the launch site, meaning the Space Museum and Launchpad 1 can also be switched with each other.
You can't mean...
The rocket the astronauts boarded was not the one in Launchpad 1. It was the one in the Space Museum.
What?
Balderdash! And yet it's the only explanation that accounts for every riddle and inconsistency. This is how the Space Center was before the incident. I see Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum have already...
I see Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum have already switched places.
That's right, and with the two switched like this, the astronauts entered the Space Museum from boarding lounge 1. This allowed the true killer to enter Launchpad 1 from boarding lounge 2 and set off the bomb on the rocket. Come to think of it, the door to the Space Museum from boarding lounge 2 Exactly, anyone could pass through the door to the Space Museum. There's no fingerprint recognition system on that door. In other words, with the two launch pads switched like that, someone other than Mr. Starbuck could have easily planted that bomb. After setting the bomb on the rocket, the culprit snuck into boarding lounge 1 and waited there concealed, in order to kill Mr. Tenbren when the two astronauts emerged from the Space Museum. Recall that Ms. Blackwell, Mr. Starbuck and the director all saw a suspicious figure, who, we can suppose after killing Mr. Terran, made their escape into the Space Museum. After that, Director Cosmos switched the two launch pads back, without realising the killer was inside the Space Museum. The killer then left the Space Museum and made a clean getaway.
Yeah?
Right, Dono. I see you know how to handle a sword and handle it well. Perhaps I should call you Swordmaster Bluff. I'm a seasoned warrior who's cut down many a prosecutor.
Silence.
But unless you can prove your theory, it's no better than a rusty sword.
That's right, you have no proof I switched the launch pads.
Somebody needs a better anger management counselor. If the launch pads really were switched, there might be a record of it somewhere. At this point, Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched with each other. So the corridor beyond the door should be the one that belongs to the Space Museum. Let's see. This is the original Launchpad 1 corridor. You see anything different when we compare it to the security footage? Huh. A number on the floor. Well, what do you know? Looks like we have proof after all, Prosecutor Blackwell. And if this is just another bluff... Oh, don't worry, it's all right here. Right in the footage. Proof that beyond this door is the corridor to the Space Museum.
Very well then, answer this for me if you would. What in this footage proves the corridor belongs to the Space Museum?
Take that!
There's a 1 on the floor of Launchpad 1 corridor. But take a look at the floor of the corridor on the security footage. You see the number on the floor behind the astronauts? That doesn't look like a 1, does it? That's because it's what you actually see as part of a 2. What? Why is it a 2 and not a 1? Because the corridor you see is the one to the Space Museum. So that means the corridor in this footage was not filled with smoke. That's right, the explosion didn't occur in the Space Museum. The explosion occurred in Launchpad 1 on the side opposite the Space Museum. And now we know that 2 astronauts escaped from the Space Museum, the mystery from the previous trial as to how they got down the ladder is cleared up. Mr. Turan, carrying Mr. Starbuck, simply took the elevator from the upper level down to the middle level.
It's incredible. The 2 launch pads are actually switched. You think someone would have noticed in the event of this magnitude?
Everyone was down in the basement shelter when the launch pads were swapped back. There's no way anyone could have known what was happening on the surface. No more lies, Director Cosmos. It's high time you told us the truth.
My honor, my glory, everything's slipping away. Time to deploy galactic engine mission. It's gone haywire. It won't stop. My stars, my glory. Don't dance me. Bailiff, on your steed and after that witness. I assume you managed to retrieve him before you came to any bodily harm.
Director Cosmos, do you admit you switched the launch pads?
I admit it's true. I switched Launchpad 1 for Space Museum. Oh, good to hear words I can believe for a change.
Before you do, Your Honour, 2 things. First, we don't know if Mr. Turan had prior knowledge of the switch. As for Mr. Starbuck, he was unaware of his surroundings thanks to his medication. Either way, Mr. Turan would have realised the instant he stepped into the Space Museum that it had been switched with Launchpad 1. So my first question is, if the Space Museum was perfectly fine, why did Mr. Turan feel the need to put on such a dramatic display? And my second question, I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the 2 launch pads to begin with.
Please, I can't. I exercise my right for silence. But I will say my hands were tied. I was only doing what I could to keep my men getting caught in the blast.
The director is terrified. He must have one heck of a reason for not wanting to explain why. Probably not a good time to try and pry it out of him, huh?
Excuse me, but would you mind if I picked up my stars? Without my badge of rank, I'm nothing.
I don't see why not. Bailiff, have the director retrieve his stars. It appears the possibility of a culprit other than a defendant has presented itself. Mr. Starbuck, is there anything you wish to say? I don't get it. Don't get it? What don't you get? Director, why did you do all that? From the very beginning, you never meant for the launch to go ahead, did you? You tricked us. Mr. Starbuck.
Starbuck, my boy, I'm sorry. I can't tell you the reason why, but I had to do it to protect the Space Center.
Director, will I ever get the chance to go into space again?
Yes, of course. I won't rest until it happens.
Who's the woman on the far right? Interesting. Haven't seen you yet.
I will get you into space again, my boy.
Then the dream is still alive.
Silence!
You're not going into space, Starbuck, but prison. I won't have it any other way. Why are you so hung up on him? Yes, I accept the launch pads really were switched, and if there were a third person at the scene, I suppose they could have escaped. But I've yet to see proof of this third person's escape via the Space Museum. Oh, that's a good point. Ah, he's right. I don't have any proof. Starbuck, you will spill everything you know. What? Me? Where did you get those bombs? Tell me now. If you don't, my blade shall feast on your blood.
If I'm going to die, I want to die in space.
I have to do something. Solomon Starbuck, prepare yourself. Ha 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 ha! Now, you know violence isn't the answer, Prosecutor Blackquill. An annoying, cheerful laugh. It can be none other than... Champion of Righteousness, Bobby Fulbright here. In justice we trust. Detective Fulbright? Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Lawyer. I hope I'm not too late. I don't believe we had an appointment. I tried to hurry, but I ended up helping a little old lady cross the street. And then I had to break up a cat fight. I tell you, justice is a full-time job. Was it a fight between cats, or... Why are you here again? Because the defendant isn't the culprit, and I came to make sure justice is served. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Fulbright. I always thought you were a bit touched in the head. But have you finally succumbed?
No, but it looks like you succumbed to this phantom of yours. Open your eyes and let the evidence of justice uncloud your judgment.
What evidence? Come to think of it, he did say something about finding us some evidence. I didn't think he was serious, though. So what is it, Detective? Is it something that'll prove Mr. Starbuck innocent?
It is indeed. Have a look at this. What's this? A lighter? That's right. A lighter thought to have been used by the culprit, no less. The Space Museum's cleaning robot picked it up. It has the victim Clay Terran's blood along with the killer's fingerprints on it.
What?
Ah! Order! Order! Detective Fulbright, I can assume you have the fingerprints that don't belong to the defendant? You bet! Mr. Starbuck is totally innocent.
This is it. This is just what I needed. Your Honour, this is decisive evidence to support the defence's earlier claim.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
With pleasure, Your Honour. Recall where the lighter was found. Based on that, we can extrapolate the killer murdered Mr. Terran. They escaped with the lighter in hand into the Space Museum, where they dropped it. The switching of the two launch pads occurred. Finally, the killer left through Boarding Lounge 2 and made their escape. Meanwhile, Mr. Starbuck was found in Boarding Lounge 1 after the murder, a fact Director Cosmos has testified to. Therefore, Mr. Starbuck couldn't have possibly been the one to drop the lighter there.
Silence!
But the defendant has free reign of the area until Director Cosmos appeared. Could he not have dropped the lighter in the Space Museum during the span of that time?
Objection!
You'd like that to be true, wouldn't you? But Director Cosmos testified that right after he saw the mysterious figure with a lighter, he went into the lounge and found the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. In other words, Mr. Starbuck wouldn't have had the time to double back to the museum. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, this lighter could have only been dropped by the real killer. Most importantly, Mr. Starbuck's fingerprints are nowhere to be found on this lighter. I think you understand what this means, don't you? This piece of evidence unequivocally proves Mr. Starbuck was not the culprit.
This does indeed appear to be decisive evidence that proves the defence's claims.
As for the remote switch found in Mr. Starbuck's pocket, we can assume it was planted by the killer on the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. No, there must be some mistake.
Frankly, Professor Blackwell, I've been worried about you.
I said Professor again, fuck's sake.
You've been chasing this phantom for 7 whole years. I understand your urgency because
Silence.
tomorrow...
Fulbright, you promised never to speak of it. Huh? Tomorrow? What about tomorrow?
Given the body of evidence, I think it's safe to say the defendant is innocent. In light of that fact, it was impossible for him to have committed the crime. A few unanswered questions remain, so I look forward to seeing what you two uncover. For now, the court finds the defendant, Solomon Starbuck, not guilty.
We did it, Mr. Wright. Looks like we pulled it off somehow, huh? With some help from Detective Fulbright. Mr. Wright, Miss Sykes, thank you. And please thank Apollo for me too. You all are the best. I wish we could tell Apollo how Mr. Starbuck's verdict right now. Yeah, me too, but that's going to have to wait. Now that the verdict has been reached, I'd like to bring today's trial to a close. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
Thought so. It's too late to object, isn't it? Now come on, Phoenix, you've been in that situation yourself. It simply isn't possible. Something's wrong. Prosecutor Blackquill, are you dissatisfied with the verdict? Fulbright, what were the results of that fingerprint analysis for the lighter? Huh? The results? Well, I was in a hurry, you see, and then there was the cat fight, and, well, I kind of got carried away when I heard the prints weren't Mr. Starbuck's, so... You have yet to read it? Prosecutor Blackquill, can you read out who the prints belong to? Upon thorough analysis, the fingerprints were found to belong to Athena Sykes. Says so the report. What? What? Huh? Me? Order! Order, I say! Order! Miss Sykes, tell me you have an explanation for this. We just finished proving this lighter can only belong to the killer. Finding your prints on it can only lead us to one grave conclusion. I don't know how they got there, but I know I'm not the culprit. This can't be happening. We built our argument piece by piece. I don't think any of our reasoning was faulty. How could it have led to this? What have I done? Please forgive me, I'm sorry. Order! Order! Detective Fulbright, stop your crying! What in the world is happening here? It's like the world's gone mad. Order! Order! I will have order! Confusion spiraled into utter chaos. After all we'd fought for, the truth had turned cruelly on us to accuse Athena of the crimes. Somewhere, somehow, everything had gone terribly wrong. We had stumbled over the edge of reason into the jaws of a twisted darkness. Oh, that's it?